Hi guys, Byline TV interviewed a number of people in Cornwall who voted for Brexit about Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage using them to convince the public to back Leave. Here two men working in the fishing industry, which was courted by Brexiteers back in 2016 as part of the campaign to exit the European Union, share their feelings today. Both feel betrayed, but worse, they see no point in voting at all. The lies Farage and Johnson pushed didn't just turn people off the Tories, but it seems deeply undermined public trust in politics. Have a listen to this.
I'm going to vote for that guy. You know, he was on telly giving it the big and he's doing this, and I nicknamed him Big Balls Boris, I did, because he seems to have a go at it, didn't he? And I thought, this is the guy who's going to fucking help us.
He was telling me, I'm going to do this for the fishermen and that. I told him straight away, you just come here, try and get our vote, take your picture. He come on the docks, he dragged one kit from there to there, like, get me picture quick, and then where he's gone.
So they come here for the photo ops? Yeah. And for the votes? Yeah. And then you haven't seen them since?
No, they do exactly the opposite of what they said they're going to do.
Yeah.
They've said they'll do this, do that, do this, then they've just basically just took some more money out of the industry, took what they can out of it, like. Yeah, it doesn't really make no difference which way you vote, does it? Really?
Yeah.
That's what I think people are starting to realise now. That no matter which way you vote, you're not going to get what they say you're going to get. And so it doesn't matter.
So the trust is gone?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone will vote again because, you know, we got lied to again. They was going to do this, going to do that. We know it wasn't going to happen, you know, overnight. But, you know, in a 10-year period, it could, you know, we could change the job. I think they just made the promises to get everybody to vote for them, didn't they? Just to get in. And then once they've got in, they've just forgotten about you.
It's so sad because these people were convinced by charlatans that things would improve. They were looking at the situation back in 2016. Many of them were probably struggling to make ends meet. They were convinced by Farage, convinced by Boris Johnson, that the solution to their problems was leaving the European Union. That it was the European Union that was holding them back. And unfortunately, I believe the Remain campaign didn't go to these communities, didn't explain things like this, that it was the European Union that was supporting you. Unfortunately, it was the likes of Farage and Johnson who were able to go there. As was pointed out, they went for the photo opportunity. They didn't care about the fishermen. They never did. Boris Johnson only cared about himself. He saw Brexit as a means of him getting into number 10. He jumped on board a bandwagon and he took advantage of that, and he took advantage of people. And of course, Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage are not returning to these fishing communities to explain what went wrong, to apologise, to ask for forgiveness. You know, Johnson is staying in London and Nigel Farage has his own show. He's making lots of money at the moment on the back of all of this. And what's frustrating as well is that the fishermen who are struggling at the moment as a direct result of Brexit want to disengage from politics. And I understand that. But they need to engage. They need to support, for example, the Labour Party, who seem to be the only party that will get the UK back into the European Union. I know at the moment Keir Starmer is not mentioning that. He's not talking about rejoining the EU or the single market or anything. But the only way back is through a Labour government. Forget about the Tories. Forget about Reform UK. Forget about Nigel Farage. Forget about Johnson. Those people have betrayed you. If you want change, you need to vote for it. And I understand that many people are very upset. Many people have been betrayed and feel betrayed. But it's not going to get any better if you continue to listen to the charlatans. It's not going to get better if you stay outside the political process. If you want change, you need to ask for it. You need to force it. And forcing it by voting in parties that will deliver some sort of change. I understand the criticisms of the Labour Party and I understand the feelings that people have. They just want to completely disengage. But these communities, including the farming industry, have been betrayed by Brexiteers. The way forward is to kick the Brexiteers out of Parliament. challenge them. Invite Boris Johnson. I really wish, what had happened after the Brexit vote or after Brexit was that the fishing community organised events around Parliament, protested, put pressure on Boris Johnson and the Brexiteers. But unfortunately, we heard nothing. They sent a few lorries down to Westminster, drove around for about an hour and a half and then returned. That was not a protest. They need to look to France to see what real protest is about. This is going to continue. Now, the man in the video also talked about 10 years, but things are not going to improve on their own. We need political pressure on politicians to make things better. You can't just wait for things to improve. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.